Hey, I'm Dominique.
And I'm Victoria. And within the next 4 minutes, we're going to teach you everything you need to know about cellular respiration.
Some people may be like, what? Why? But to that, we say,
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
Okay, now back to business. The first thing you need to know about energy is ATP! Adenosine triphosphate, or ATP for short, is an organic molecule containing
High energy!
phosphate bonds.
We get energy from ATP by breaking 2 of the high energy phosphate bonds!
What?
ATP! ATP! ATP!
Now, in order to break the phosphate bonds in ATP, our body goes through a process called cellular respiration.
It takes many steps for our body to get the energy it needs. The first step of the pathway is
Glycolysis.
Glycolysis is the 10-step process that starts cellular respiration.
Glycolysis is the breakdown of one glucose molecule into 2 pyruvates.
The reactants are 1 glucose, 2 ATP, and 2 NAD+. And the products are 4 ATP, 2 pyruvate, and 2 NADH.
When oxygen is present with the pyruvate, they move on to the
Krebs cycle. The 2 pyruvates will oxidize and each 3-carbon pyruvate will become a 6-carbon citric acid. After the 2 citric acids enter and complete the Krebs cycle, they produce 6 CO2, 8 NADH, 2 FADH, and 2 ATP. The cycle takes place in the mitochondria and keeps going and going.
After the Krebs cycle, the molecules move into electron transport.
This occurs in the inner mitochondrial membrane, or cristae.
32 of the 36 to 38 ATP are produced here.
This is the last step in aerobic respiration.
But wait, that's not it. What happens if no oxygen is present?
Let's go back to right after glycolysis.
If oxygen is not present, the 2 pyruvates will go to fermentation. There are 2 different types of fermentation: lactic acid and alcohol.
Lactic acid fermentation occurs in animals when no oxygen is present. 2 NADH and 2 pyruvates go in and 2 lactic acids come out.
Alcohol fermentation occurs in plants and certain bacteria. The reactants are the same as lactic acid fermentation, but the products are 2 NADH, 2 ethanol, and 2 CO2.
So now you know all about cellular respiration, but one question still remains.
How do our bodies get the glucose we need to start cell respiration?
Our bodies get the glucose from eating food.
But plants have to take a different approach.
Photosynthesis is the process in which plants get their glucose. The equation for it is right here.
Photosynthesis requires chlorophyll, which is responsible for turning light energy into usable energy. The entire process takes place in the chloroplast.
There are 2 types of photosynthetic reactions, light and dark.
Light reactions take place in the thylakoid membrane and only take place when there's light out.
A dark reaction, also known as the Calvin cycle, can occur anytime, but usually when there's no light present.
Once plants use photosynthesis to make glucose, they can begin cellular respiration.
If an organism is unable to get glucose, cellular respiration will stop.
And if cellular respiration stops, an organism won't be able to make energy and it'll eventually die.
So as you can see, cellular respiration is a long and complex process that we need to go through to survive.
And now you know all about it.
Thanks for watching.